Good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody, and I appreciate those who have been waiting. I just wanted to check a couple things first before I came on, just in case there was any latest updates. So I wanted to make sure that I'm giving the current information, but I definitely want to go ahead and start with this morning message.
First of all, I just want to say, first, when everybody wake up, everybody got the same 24 hours. We all got the same 24 hours. It's enough money for everybody out here. It's enough money for, it's so much money out here. Y'all don't even know it because you too busy hanging on the next person. It's so, if you wake up in the morning every day hanging on the next person and worrying about what another female doing, girl, go get help. Go get help or unfollow me because this shit gonna only get better over here with Lord Dior. I'm gonna keep elevating. I'm gonna keep going up in life. Ain't no falling off over here. I'm gonna keep going up. When you go in the grocery store on the bread aisle, all them brands get bought. It's a lot of different brands of bread. All of them get bought. It's enough money out here for everybody. If you hang on another female because she more lit than you in Atlanta, you got a problem. It's enough money out here for everybody. Instead of linking up and we all eat together, everybody want to hate and be in competition. That's y'all problem. You will not win like that. Stop waking up, hang on the next female, and go get help. Please go seek help. And peace.
Message. I had to play that because you know what? This whole situation, in my opinion, it all comes down to jealousy. But I want to get into some facts, and I don't plan on holding you guys, too long. But, a lot of people were celebrating saying that Daejhanae Jackson had been arrested, which actually there's absolutely zero receipts, no receipts that proof that this girl has been arrested. Now, we know that there was a warrant put out for her arrest. We know that. But I think until we hear about this from a credible news source, and we know that Fox 5 can mess it up, okay? We know that Fox 5, even Trump calls them fake news. We know that they can fuck up some shit. But until we hear it from somebody other than Twitter, I don't think we should be running with this information. There is absolutely no court, no jail, no Interpol, nowhere it shows proof that this girl has been arrested. Now, am I saying that it's impossible she hasn't been arrested? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is no receipts that this girl is in prison. And hello to everybody in the chat. I'm going to acknowledge you guys kind of at the end of the show. I just want to kind of stick to the commentary just for a minute, just so I don't get, distracted. Because you know me, I'll start saying, hey, hello. Then I'll get to talking about some edibles and, I might go into a whole rant. So let's just stick with the topic at hand. Now, this is where a lot of people are getting this information from. There's a website. And the thing about a website is anybody can get a website. I've had one before, because before I ever did videos on YouTube, I had a website and I was a blogger. Okay. So even with the green sector, we have a website. So just because I post something on the greensector.com, does that make it a fact? Well, it probably would be because I would be the one posting it. But what I'm saying is anybody could post something on there. It doesn't make it a fact. Until we see a mugshot, until Shanquella's mother or father comes on camera and says, thank God my daughter's killer, is in prison. And even with just one person, there being a warrant for one person, I still don't deem that to be justice for the simple fact that every single person involved, all 6 of them, should be charged. Okay. Now let me go ahead and show you guys the source that a lot of people are using. So no matter where you go, everyone's taking you right back. Hold on, I think I got to move this real quick. Just give it 1 second. Okay. So this is the news source that a lot of people are reporting. This is their source. This is the receipt. Now I know that the one of the Hispanic reporters dealing with it had told the girl Jackson got some stuff, but like I said, I don't know. I want to see real receipts from a government, not no third party stuff. Okay, so this is what has been reported and what has been, people have been, using this as a reference. And it's basically just saying that she was placed in federal custody, waiting for her to begin her extradition process to Mexico. Now, there was another story that I followed not too long ago, and people were saying that that particular person, which was an ex-police officer, that she wasn't in custody. Well, I was able to look her up, and I was able to see every single thing that was going on, where they had transferred her, where they had took her. I have searched up, down, and in between, and I have found nowhere where there is proof. Now, I mean, are they protecting her? Do they have her in custody, but they don't want people to know? Are they going to treat her like they did the DC sniper? Because one of my cousins was in the same jail with the DC sniper. And anytime they would even move him from one room to the next room, they would lock the entire prison down. So is it that they're just hiding that they have her in custody? I don't know. But this right here, this is not a fucking receipt. Okay? This is just a picture and somebody writing receipt over top of it. It's not a receipt. I also think that this is strategic. And I think that this was also put out here to make people think that this girl was in custody so that people would think that they're getting some type of justice. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get justice, period, especially when we don't matter. We don't matter. And I heard somebody saying just this morning, I listened to a video, and the content creator said, well, I can't believe, they were trying to get her an IV. And, why didn't that particular nurse or whoever, why didn't they contact the police and tell them that there was something going on? Because they don't they don't care. We don't matter. Okay, so this is what they have here. Now, so when I looked up, what's their qualification? Who are these people? So when I looked that up to see, this particular website, who are they or whatever. So they had it in Spanish. So it translates, and basically what it says is the strongest team of reporters in investigation journalism, highly trained in database tracking, evidence collection, and information analysts on issues of security, corruption, impunity, and abuse of power in Baja California. Child, that could be anybody. It means nothing. Now, let me tell you what else I saw, which I know that people have been creating fake channels. So, I'm not going to really put too much into this, but this was posted a couple of hours ago. And this is supposed to be, Daejhanae, basically saying she's done explaining herself. Her life is ruined. I'm quite sure that's just somebody who created a page and posted this stuff. And that's what this comes down to. Clickbait. Clickbait. Anything for a click and a view. Anything for attention. Like I said, I could be live right now and I could cuss out several people who actually deserve it. And I know that I would easily have 100 to 200 people in here. But sometimes we have to talk about things that matter. This is the other post. This allegedly from her. I wish I never went. We wish you never went either. Now, there are other people stating that, there's no proof that she was friends with these people, that she had knew them for a long time, which is actually incorrect because there was a picture posted, and I should have probably brought it over here, and it shows them all when they were young, at least like 10 years or better. The whole group shows them. Well, I didn't see the white girl, to be honest, the winter girl. I didn't see her. Now, here's something else that's sick as hell. So the same dude who's basically telling her, you know, fight, you're not going to fight back and all this other stuff. This is a picture of him with her family, you know, in the past, because, you know, he used to go to her house and go on vacation with them and hang out with the family and everything else. And then he was talking with the mother after the death, knowing how this girl lost her life. Right. I don't feel sorry for none of them at all. Now, I heard somebody say that, you know, they feel sorry for Daejhanae because they feel that she didn't intend on killing her. They, you know, this person felt like they were just trying to teach her a lesson and things just went, you know, completely left or whatever. But there were so many things that went wrong in that whole situation. And I still stand on the fact that because this was supposed to be her best friend, I think that she was confiding certain things in him. I think he was one of those type of people where, you know what I mean, they're doing pillow talking, you know, and not in that sense, not a sexual sense, but they're talking, they're gossiping, and then he's going back to those other people telling them, well, she said this and she said that. And then he's going to the other friends and he's telling the other friends, she said this and she said that. And I think it was a lot of that going on. And that's why when everything went crazy, they were like, you're always running your mouth, this and that. Now, here's supposed to be an audio. And I'm going to say supposed to be, because there have been a lot of people pretending to be people that they are not. So this is supposed to be Winter. And she starts talking about what happened. Now, according to her, she's saying that they're basically being railroaded. They're being lied to. She was drunk. She fell. This, that. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick listen to this audio here. This is my first time hearing it. A lot of you all in the chat may have heard it before, but for me, this is new. I haven't never heard this one before. As I'm playing this audio, if you have heard it before, press a 1 for me. And if this is your first time hearing it, press a 2 for me.
Yes, she did have a fight that y'all will see, and that's going viral. They were fighting because Quilla did some crazy shit while she was drunk. So he basically told her to, let's fight. I don't want to drag you out of the bed. Quilla didn't want to, but that's how that happened. Unfortunately, she did die because of up on the bed. But y'all see something in the video don't mean that happened. They're just trying to cover it up with a broken spine and whatever else they're saying. You all like y'all. I was not fighting in the video. So the person that was fighting in the video is not up here, and she can only speak for herself. So until she gets up here, she can speak on her behalf. We're talking because we were there. There's multiple people there, not just the girl that was fighting. So I'm confused. What's the question you're trying to ask? If me and my friend is going through something, we're going to fight it out. So that's just that. Nobody's going to jump in. And that's just what happened. After she fell, she was not dead.
So I feel like she said a lot of that right there to distance herself from the situation and what's going on. Even though she wasn't really, you know, naming this person or naming that person, she made sure to try to say that she wasn't involved in it. Now, here's the thing, right? And I'm just being honest and taking full responsibility. You know, as much as I'm angry with this group, because if I'm friends with somebody, I'd rather walk away from that friendship when it reaches the point that I got to put my hands on you or we have to fight. We don't need to be friends. But then I also think about the fact of how many of us have been in fights before. How many of us have used violence as the answer? How many of us have punched somebody, smacked somebody, whether we were defending ourselves or not? And I'm not excusing anything about these people because I want them to be under the prison. I think it's disgusting what they did. But there's a lot of people that I see running around and saying, you know, like justice for her and justice for that. But these are the same people who promote violence. These are the same people who think violence is the answer. These are the same people that want to fight people and hit people. So that's why I put the poll in the chat. Is violence the answer? And I think that's what we have to learn to do. We have to start learning to communicate using our words, not our hands, not weapons, because far too many people are losing their life, you know, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And every single person involved in this situation needs to be held accountable, period. Now, I will, when this is over, I will put the link for the panel that I did on Sunday. That panel was amazing. And thank you again to everyone who participated. We went through a lot of information on the case. We went through a lot of information that you need to know when you're out traveling. And another thing I thought about yesterday that I didn't say in that particular video, and I want to say it today. Another thing that you shouldn't really do too much when you are traveling, if you're in an area and it's not like really like a tourist area, you know, let's say you're hanging out with those cameras away, put those phones away. You know, when I'm in Jamaica, honestly, yes, I do take pictures. I may take, you know, a little video here or there, but for the most part, you don't see me walking around recording because that's not something that you see people do. So if you're walking around how we live and we have cameras all up in our face 24/7, you're already going to stand out and you're going to make yourself a target and you're going to make yourself a mark. Also making sure that you have your money with you. And if you need to exchange your money for the currency in the country that you're in, going somewhere where it's safe. Avoid using your ATM card. Because I can think about times when I was in Jamaica, you know what I'm saying, using the ATM machine. And sometimes they got dudes standing right outside the ATM. And of course, they're going to ask you for some money. And guess what? Most people are going to give them some money because they rather give them some money than tell them, no, I don't have any money, when they just saw you take out money. And what they're going to do next is probably rob you. So now most people aren't giving them a ton of money. They might give them like $100 in Jamaica, which is basically like the equivalence of like a US $1 bill, you know, give or take. You can't really buy much with a Jamaican $100 bill. But some people, that's how they make their money. That's what they do. So at the end of the day, making sure that you have your money with you, knowing that if you carry over $10,000 and you're traveling with it, you have to claim that money. You have to fill paperwork out for that money. I wouldn't advise anybody to travel with that kind of money at all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to step into the comment section. But I just wanted to go ahead and make this video because I have checked everywhere. There's nothing with Interpol stating that they have this girl. There's nothing in California that says she's in custody, you know, and there's a lot of people who are talking about this story, but then they're also saying things like, according to the plaintiff Jane, and no shade to the plaintiff Jane, but the plaintiff Jane, she ain't no different from S. Hutchinson. She got a YouTube channel. That doesn't make her a credible source. You know what I mean? If you're going to say somebody got arrested, make sure you also show the receipts. Now, like I said, too, this girl here was the one that people were saying she was transgender. TC is still saying that she believes that she's transgender. Now, they did show pictures, like I said, of her when she was younger, which doesn't really say a whole bunch. But the lead attorney also spoke on that. And you guys may have heard that. I'm going to play that real quick as I'm going and getting in the comment section.
I said, now you guys thought that 𝐑𝐞𝐚𝐝 was a man. 5,500 people in the chat. 𝐑𝐿𝐴NAE, if you're watching, hello. You going to jail now? They thought, 𝐑𝐿𝐴NAE, they thought you were a man. So I asked her, I said, well, why did you think 𝐑𝐿𝐴NAE was a man? He said, well, that's what the reports were. Why do y'all think they thought 𝐑𝐿𝐴NAE was a man? Anybody know? Again, this is a little bit cultural. They thought that 𝐑𝐿𝐴NAE was a man because of the maid. The maid went in there. Shout out to Luke Hazley. The maid found a wig. And when the maid found the wig, the maid was like, what the fuck is this? And the people at the villa noticed that 𝐑𝐿𝐴NAE would take on and off the wig. Now, I lived in Mexico 5-6 years. I never saw one Mexican wearing a goddamn wig.
So that's just a little bit about, them thinking that she was a man. Now, Beam Me Up Scotty says, did you hear that Shanquella set Simone's cousin up in a group and they were murdered? I did not, but I will definitely look into that. Now, what I am going to do, and I promise you guys that I am going to do, is I'm going to continue to search Interpol. I'm going to continue to search different federal prison systems. I'm going to continue to do my research to check to see if I can see anywhere that she was held or in custody, because it will show, like, if the person's holding, if they're waiting to be transferred, it'll show all that information. And until I actually see that, I'm not buying any of this other shit. Okay. Did I hear you say he's the lead attorney? His name is Lead Attorney on YouTube. Now Nina B says, Shelly Gerald, the reporter and YouTuber, came live this morning and said he can't say she's been arrested either. Right. And that's the thing. I mean, we all want to believe that she's arrested because, it'll make us all feel better. Let me tell you, Shanquella, to us, she's like our Natalie Holloway. You know how white people gravitated towards her? We've all followed this story so much that we feel like she's our friend, or this is our niece, or she could have been our daughter. So we all have this certain connection, and we all want to see justice. But we also have to be very careful that we don't also put out misleading information. Because when we put out misleading information, guess what the world will believe? The world will believe, well, we got justice and we can move on. No, we can't move on because we don't have justice. Even if this girl is in prison right now, we still don't have justice, because in my opinion, the rest of the 5 of them motherfuckers need to all be in prison together. Every last one of them. To me, that would be justice. That would be justice. Them getting a sentence that adds up to what they did, which actually no sentence can really make up for what they did to her, because they basically tortured this girl in her death. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, no, prison life is not going to be great for them in Mexico. We know that. We know it's not going to be great. But like I said before, money talks and bullshit walks. And if you have enough money, you can get favor and you can get privilege. And I just want everybody to be aware of that. Now I have Vivian in the back. Let me go ahead and let her up. I'm going to go on mute while you talk, and I'm going to get in the comment section, Vivian.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So listen, all I came up here to say was, again, Shelly, you are right. I am proud of the way that you're handling this. Thank you so much for not jumping the gun. That is our issue. We all continue not we, but some people are out here jumping the gun and they're moving too fast and they're putting out misinformation. And what people got to realize when you're dealing with a case like this, when you got so many people putting out misinformation, what happens is that it hinders the case. It hinders the case.
Right. And Fedora asked a question. She said, "Hey, Shells, why do you say she hasn't been arrested? I'm late, so you may have already said," because there's no proof that she's arrested. The only source is just a blog site. I checked Interpol, and there's nothing. There's nothing in Interpol stating that she has been arrested. There's nothing in California that shows her in prison. The only thing that we do know, the only receipt that we really have, is that a arrest warrant was put out for her. But we all know that they're just traveling around and doing whatever they want to do. Does that mean that she's going to be able to run forever? No. But guess what? Even when the arrest warrant, then we still have to wait for U.S. to send her to Mexico, which I don't think that they'll drag their feet with it, because, to be honest, social media has kept their foot on the necks of the justice system. And I think if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't even be where we are right now. But it's still not time to celebrate, because there's no proof that she's been arrested. Absolutely not. There's no receipts. There's no mugshot. There's nothing in the database with Interpol, with the federal California system, or North Carolina. There's nothing. I've been searching high and low, actually in databases. Now, I am going to make one call to somebody that I personally know, and they're able to see certain things when people are arrested nationwide. So I'm going to reach out to my source with that particular person. But I did all my search. I tried to myself first, and I looked, and there's nothing. So I am going to check with my source right there. But as far as to say she's arrested, absolutely, there's proof. I think people just jump the gun with the story, because it's clicks and views for a lot of people, and they don't really care if it's accurate or not, because guess what? They can come back and talk about it 15 more times and get 100,000 views, or whatever the case may be. A lot of people have built their channels off of this story, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's so many Shanquella Robinsons. There's so many people. If you don't believe it, go subscribe to Black Girl Unlost, and you will see 2, 3, 4 stories a day of women of color, men of color being killed. And most of it from domestic violence, or somebody, mama, boyfriend that went and killed their kids ever. There's a story, Vivian, we need to talk about. The mother, she went to go to the light bulb. And I just saw this yesterday. She went to go change the light bulb in her bathroom, only to find out there was a camera up there, and her husband had been watching her daughter, and she had been married for 16 years. Okay. So there's so many things that we need to be talking about. And and a lot of times we're not, because some people don't want to talk about stuff like this, because why? People aren't really going to tune in for it, So I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Viv.
Oh no, I'm good. And I heard about that story too. That lady, she did the whole TikTok and everything. So yeah, we really got to get into that one, because that's a good story. But y'all, Shelly, thanks so much for putting this information out there, and for not jumping the gun. And you guys, we got to be vigilant. And y'all, listen, it's a guy over in Mexico that's supposed to be a vlogger, and he's supposed to be this investigative journalist. I've not yet heard one person that's Spanish talk to him in Spanish. He always goes through an interpreter. So I don't know what they've decided they're going to do and say. They might be in cahoots and get money. We don't know. Yeah, they went on Bill Jackson, and they said that she was arrested, but again, there's still no proof that she's arrested. We ain't seen no perk walk. We ain't seen no mug shots, nothing. I'm on mute.
And I'll be honest, for as much as, and I'm not going to say like her mother has been all on social media or her mother's been here or there, but her parents have spoke with the media, mother and father. So if this girl was arrested, I believe the mother or father would have came through with somebody and said, you know what? They got her. We're happy. We're moving in the right direction. Until I hear it from the mother or the father or a credible news source, and then damn it, TMZ. Come on, the way TMZ be on shit. If this girl was arrested, TMZ would have came through and said she was arrested. But no, they haven't, because there's no absolute proof of it. And then I hear a lot of people also too crediting, well, you know, the nurse on TikTok said, is that really your fucking source? The nurse in TikTok was not in Mexico with these people. Now, we can all give our opinions on what we think or what we believe, but come on now. Now, this is the last thing that I want to say before I hop off of here to my content creators. I said this the other day, and I'm going to say this again. I've had Streamyard for about 3 years, okay? I don't like money coming out of my account every month, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really do the YouTube memberships. You know, I try to bless people when I can by Cash App or PayPal or, you know, Love Mail or whatever the case may be. But I have been paying $240 a year for Streamyard. And I thank God that I had used my husband's credit card, because I don't check I told y'all I don't open mail. I deal with really bad anxiety. So even for me to check my email, it takes a lot for me to even open my email up. It doesn't even mean because I fear what's in it. It's just a thing with me. It's just that. So because my husband said, well, took $240 out of my account. I said, okay. So every year I kept saying, you know, I'm going to get rid of Streamyard, because a lot of times, you know, they have sound issues and so on and so forth. And as you guys know, I'm not on here every day using Streamyard or anything like that, which if you notice lately, I started doing my, you know, ASMRs again and things like that. Because if I'm going to pay for it, I might as well make use of it and give me some watch hours in the process. I said all that to say that about 2 years ago, Aisha has said that she only pays $10 a month for Streamyard. And I'm thinking, well, why the hell are you paying $10 a month and everybody else is paying $25 a month or $240 a month? So anyway, long story short, I went ahead and I contacted Streamyard on the live chat. And so they told me it didn't exist. There was no such thing as $10 a month. You know, they could give me $10 a month, but it would have the watermark on it. And I was like, no, I don't want the watermark. I have a pet peeve with watermarks. I really don't like using watermarks, even if it's my name. It's just something about it I really don't like to do. So anyway, they told me they didn't have it. It took a couple of days. I had emailed them. They said something about they lost electricity. Long story short, I went ahead and I got the Streamyard again. I got the same service that I had before. And instead of paying $240, I'm only paying $114 a year for the same exact service, where I can bring 10 people on here. I have unlimited, you know, hours to record. I can stream on 3 different channels at a time. So the link to the Streamyard, because if you contact them, they may try to tell you that this doesn't exist. Well, if you click the link in my description, they can't tell you that, because they know that they just gave it to me. So I'm telling you guys this. So everybody who's a content creator, if you're paying $25 a month or $240 a year, you need to contact Streamyard, cancel your Streamyard, and get the service, because there's no reason to pay $240 a year when you can get it at $114. And as you see right now, I'm talking to you guys, there's no watermark. I have unlimited video. Well, I wouldn't say unlimited, but I got about like 10 videos in my branding. I can switch out banners, pictures, and things like that. Right now, I'm streaming on Twitter and I'm streaming on Facebook and I'm also on YouTube. Y'all know I always have to drop a gem. And if y'all pick it up and make a necklace or bracelet, that's on you. But at the end of the day, don't pay for what you don't have to. Because like I said, there's enough money out here, for us all. So if I know a way to help you all save some money, then I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Okay. So that's it. Let me go ahead and just say hello to everybody before I close out. Empress One Love Vlogs. You must be a content creator. I will make sure that I go ahead and check out your channel. And if you do videos, I will subscribe. Prima Donna. Good morning. Derek, also a content creator. Vanessa J. Good morning, beautiful. Shay K. Shay K is a content creator. Check her out. Fedora. Zena. Hope I said that right. Who was asking about the Delta 8, and it sure does work. It is raining here in the DMV. So I have definitely been enjoying my edibles. Make sure you suck them versus chewing them. They will last longer and you will get more of your money's worth. Most people won't tell you that because they will want you to continue to buy them over and over again. But I don't believe in ripping my people off. You know what I'm saying? And God don't bless mess. And God has been extremely good to me. Okay. The Hood Table, also content creator. Hood Table says, good morning, Shells and Moz in chat. I have searched as well. And couldn't it actually be on the local and national news if she was arrested? Absolutely. And it's not. Every video, I saw somebody showing the TV, making it seem as though the news was reporting it. And the only thing they were doing was playing YouTube on their TV. No receipts. And we got to start just getting better. You know what I'm saying? Using receipts. If there's no receipts, stop reading stuff, or at least say allegedly. We're doing a disservice to Shanquella Robinson by saying that this girl is arrested, because what it does is it makes people move on to something else. We're so quick to forget. We're so quick to forget and move on. TC, good morning. We got Coco. I think I seen a Pretty Chocolate Girl in here earlier. Ashley Ross, also a content creator. Ashley does vlogs. Make sure you guys check her out. And it doesn't matter what content creator you check out. If you don't leave a comment, they don't know that you've been there. They can't support you if they don't know that you support them. So if you're supporting a content creator, make sure that you're also leaving comments or engaging in their chat so that you know that they are there. Coco says, Shelly, I tried Vine, which I heard was reputable. When I did a search for North Carolina, it shows 2 agencies offline. On of them is Onslow County. I'm not sure if that is where she is from. I'll check that out.
I have a question too. Wasn't it reported also that her mom took her to Connecticut, where they're originally from? I don't know.
I did hear that because they were all on the move. You know what I mean? Now I know that if you have an arrest warrant in that particular state, they will even quote unquote extradite you to that state. Because I know they did that with my cousin. My cousin had a warrant in Maryland, but he was in Indiana with his baby's mother. So they put his ass on a plane and sent him to Maryland. But at the end of the day, everything that I've checked, I've seen nothing. I've seen nothing for this girl at all.
And Shelly, I'm going to say this. You guys don't realize how much red tape it is just to get someone extradited from state to state. So think about the red tape and the hoops that people have to jump through to get her extradited to Mexico. She has to be caught first. And with this story being such a big trend on social media and things of that nature, no reputable news source is going to allow or this story to get past them when she gets arrested. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because of the simple fact of the matter. What is the news out there for? To make money. So they want to be the first to report. And TMZ, I'm surprised they not saying more. Because they messy behinds be on everything.
I think the reason why TMZ isn't saying more is because there is no more to say. Now, the one boy, he was posting stuff on his Twitter and Instagram, but then of course he privated everything because people were taking screenshots and all that other stuff. But like I said the other day, and I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just being honest. I have little faith that Shanquella is going to really get real justice. I don't believe it. I still believe that even if they sentence her, it is going to be something just to shut people up so that they can get people to continue to travel there and be there on vacation. And she'll probably serve little time and go on about her business if she serves any time, because at the end of the day, you can extradite somebody. There is still a trial that has to be had. Now, even with the people that were standing around recording, we can all assume who was recording. We all know who we heard in the background, but there is no video actually showing those people holding the camera. You get what I'm saying? So it's just so many different things with this whole story that I just don't know. I just don't know. And I don't, you said have faith. I want to have faith. I do. But I've been following a couple different stories dealing with crimes outside of the country, outside of the US. And the last one that I have followed and I did an update on my other channel, Miss Underscore, I was literally in tears in that video. I was crying in the video. The people were saying, oh, we got justice. 61 years for killing 5 people. And 4 of them were under the age of 18. And 1 baby wasn't even 2 years old. I don't think justice. Now, I know that, the Mexican prisons are way different from America. You look at America's prison or detention centers or whatever you want to call them. Some of them look short, seem like a goddamn vacation compared to the Mexican prisons. So is she going to be living in the lap of luxury? Is she going to be having air conditioning and all that other kind of stuff? No. But Shay K feels like justice will be served. I hope that justice. I hope that justice.
Shelly, I got a question. Mm-hmm. For those of you who are mothers and fathers out there, how much justice is it? What do you consider justice if your only child was killed? My dad just left here. I'm my dad's only child. I could see if I died, I could see my father going downhill. You understand what I'm saying? I would be able to feel that he would be grief-stricken. So answer me this, to the parents in the chat room. What would you consider justice if your child was killed by someone who pretended to be her friend?
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not proud to say this stuff, but I'm also not ashamed of it because it is what it is, and I've said it before. I have at least 3 family members just on my mother's side that were charged and convicted of murder. And guess what? Every last one of them at home. And when I mean, they got jobs, they at home, they got children, because even a life sentence is not really life. Some people get natural life, where you have to stay in there for the rest of your life. But my family who, were charged with murder are at home. Now 2 of them got charged a little bit right before they turned 18 years old, even though they were charged as adults. By the time they did their time, They come home, they 40 some years old. And then I just had a cousin who came home the earlier part of this year, and he actually got more time for attempted murder than the ones who actually did murder. But he's at home and he's living his life. So I'm just saying, you know, no sentence can replace somebody, you know, and that's sad, you know, because it's not like a life for a life. And that's why sometimes I don't really have a problem with street justice. You know, I know crime never ends that way, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just unfortunate because
Shelly, I like what Derek said. Derek said, you know, justice for people of color never look the same as other people. And you're right. I worked in a prison. And what I found out was like I talked to a young man. This young man was in his late 20s, early 30s. He had been in jail since he was like 17 in adult prison. You know what he went to jail for? Hands of one, the hands of one, the hands of all. Basically, somebody got killed. He was with the group. He wasn't the one that did the shooting. They had on camera who did the shooting. But because he wouldn't say that person did the shooting, all of them that were there got killed, got charged with murder.
yeah. Now we did the poll and I said, how many feel like violence is the answer? 89% of the people said no, and 11% of the people said yes. But I really still wonder if you walking somewhere and somebody bump you on the elbow, how many people, when they get cut off in traffic, want to get out the car and fight? No, I'm not saying that y'all not being honest. I'm just saying that a lot of people do use violence and they think that violence, and that's something that we all have to work on. Because it's not worth your life or taking somebody else's life. It's really not.
Well, Shelly, you know I told a story on more than one occasion about why I operate the way I operate.
Right.
Because I definitely have a red zone. That is one of the reasons I don't carry my power with me when I go out in the street, because I definitely have a red zone. I have locked myself in my house for 3 days to stay away from my family and friends because I was in such a red zone. If somebody would have came through that door, they would have got it. I almost killed my cousin because I was in such a rage. Had my nephew not been there, my life would be different and her children's lives would have been different.
Right. And unfortunately, you know, dealing with a lot of mental health stuff is not easy either, because there's times where I have to just shut down things, because when I tap out and black out, anything can happen. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I scare my own self at times. Truly, I scare myself. Sometimes you have to learn to not push people, because you just don't know what a person's going through, or you don't know what a person is capable of.
And Shelly, I tell people all the time, the ones who are weirdly always happy or the ones that are weirdly quiet, leave them folks alone.
That's another thing too. That is another thing. Empress Lonely One Love, that's also a content creator. Make sure that you subscribe to her channel and check her out. Vibrant, one of the baddest, if not the baddest fucking moderators on YouTube, okay? Vibrant moderates for so many people. That don't mean that Vibrant drop down in your chat to give Vibrant a link, because Vibrant probably said, I'm tired of working for y'all heifers, okay? And Vibrant won't even let you bless with a little cash app or nothing. I wish you would really let us do something for, even if it's for Christmas or something, you know what I mean? I really truly feel like, you know, you deserve it, you know? I truly believe this young lady didn't deserve what happened to her, but I can't wait to hear the full story and details of her demise. Yes, I do believe that there's so much more to this story that we don't know. And for whatever reason, I do feel like the man, because that was supposed to be her best friend, I really think he was he was gaslighting. I think he was really getting a lot of stuff started. I think he was going back and forth. I just feel like that's what was going on. I think it was a lot of pent up rage. But I also think that Shanquella may have had some signs of these friends not truly being good friends. But you know, we all have situations like this where we see red flags and we ignore them, or we never think it's going to reach this point.
Shelly, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
And this is total conjecture. And chat, please do not come after Shelly. This is just Vivian asking a question. And I'm playing a little bit of the devil's advocate. My question is, it was stated that Shanquella paid for everybody to go. How do we know? And also I heard that there was something about a game where they were told to send each other some kind of weird text messages. How do we know that it wasn't like, B, you always throwing out your wealth up in our face? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, remember I was saying before, like, you have some people, well, I use the term all the time, I pay the cost to be the boss. And when people are paying for stuff, sometimes they may treat you in a certain type of way, or they may expect certain things from you. But then I'm also hearing about PPP loans. It's just so much information that's out here with this case, and we just really don't even know what's factual, you know, what's a rumor, what's what. It's just so unfortunate that it reached point. It's unfortunate that Mexico allowed these 6 people to leave the country. That was the biggest mistake that happened, because we wouldn't be here right now if they would have still been in the country. And I think they were going to Mexico often, because in Mexico some months back, at least this girl right here, Daejhanae, was, you know. So, and good morning, boo.
In chat, in no way am I saying that Shanquella's life being taken was her own fault. That is not what I'm saying. So please don't think that. I had to put that out there, Shells.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So, and Fedora is correct, you know, nothing will bring the loved one back, but just knowing that they get locked up is some form of justice, you know. And so I put another poll up at the top, and I asked, do you guys think that she will get justice? 89% of the people feel that she will. Well, 91% feel that she will get justice, and only 9% feels that she won't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the way Mexico let those people leave, and I feel like they're only doing something because of the pressure of people saying it's a boycott. That's what I believe. So I am hopeful that justice will happen. And what I will do is I will continue to check out credible sources to see when she gets arrested. But I do believe this: whenever they actually have her in custody, whenever she goes in front of the court, she's going to do what most people do, and that's when she's going to start talking, because nobody wants to be the only person to serve time. So if she feels she can say something and put somebody else, or whatever the case may be, I believe she's going to start fucking singing like a bird. I believe that's what's going to happen. Okay, so we got 83% that feels like she's going to get justice, and 17% that feels like she won't. I don't know why they showed me how to do this poll thing. Y'all going to get sick of me when I go live, honey. I'm going to be doing Q&As and polls and everything, because I saw other people doing it. I'm like, how does that work? And now that I see how it works, child, y'all going to get sick of me, okay? So, and hey Zion, good morning. And UNC girl, good morning. Vibrant says,
Shelly,
hey,
can I say this, Shelly?
go ahead.
They're gonna get sick of you, but don't worry about it. Somebody gonna take it and claim it that it's theirs. I said it.
Girl, ain't that what they do with everything that I do? People out here said that they invented the live-a-thon. When? Girl, it's called the marathon. That was coined by the green sector. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. People copy what I do, but don't act like you created some shit. You ain't created nothing. Okay, yes, it's a lot of moving parts in this story. Absolutely. When she gets arrested, she will start singing. That's when the other arrest warrants will surface. And that's what I believe. That is what I believe. She's going to get to talking because, baby, she is not going to want to sit in that prison alone. And then imagine being in a prison. And I hope she's bilingual, because imagine having to learn a whole new language. I told you my friend Tony, he got locked up in Mexico. Ended up learning Spanish. Imagine how difficult that is. You know, not necessarily having visitors to come visit you every week to keep you going. You know what I mean? Waiting on somebody to send you a letter to prison. You may or may not get it. You know what I'm saying? You can't put no regular forever stamp on it to reach Mexico. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many different things.
And what people don't realize is, okay, prisons out of the United States are nothing like the prisons in the United States. In the United States, there are things like, for instance, if you don't have soap and things of that nature to wash your behind and stuff like that with, you know, they have what they call indigent packages where you can get like things like that from the jail once, you know, the chaplains, they will give it to you once a month or once every quarter or whatever. It's not like that in other places. Other places, if your family don't send it to you, you get what you get.
Absolutely. Corinne, good morning. And good morning to everybody. If I missed anybody, I see just Kimmy up in the building. Baby, Kimmy was over there carrying on yesterday. And let me tell you something. And I know this ain't the topic, you know, of this particular live, but anybody that clicks on it, they'll get the information that they need to get in the beginning of the video. But let me say this. I am getting sick and tired of men disrespecting women. We cannot sit up here and yell justice for Shanquella Robinson, but we sit around here and we entertain men who threaten violence against women, men who call women a bunch of whores and so on and so forth. And I truly feel that as content creators, and I don't even care if it's a content creator that hates me, I'm willing to form some type of understanding. I don't want to call it an alliance, but an understanding that we stand together on the fact that we will not allow any man to come on our platforms and disrespect women. Any man who is disrespectful towards women, who call them out their names, that talk underneath their clothes, that speak on their parenting or the lack of having children. You know what I mean? All of that stuff. I stand with any woman who's willing to stand and say, you know what? I will not entertain those type of guests on my platform. The death certificate, the signature blocks are not signed, and everyone says, Kimberly, it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. And that's a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? Because listen, her parents, Daejhanae and all whoever the rest of them, if their parents got any kind of money, they're going to try to get the best lawyer that money can buy. And with the discrepancies and death certificates and what's crossed out here, the time of death and this and that, it's so many things. And that's why myself personally, I am nervous about justice. I am nervous that there won't be some type of technicality when it all comes down to it. You know, I don't know.
We all know that in Mexico, money talks and BS walks. And if you got a dime to a dollar, if you got enough money to grease the pocket of that official, anything can go.
Right. Now, UNC Girl says everyone needs to respect each other, men and women. It goes both ways. And I agree. Because, you have women who jump up in men's faces and think that they're going to fight a man or whatever. And then if the man hits them, then that man gets in trouble and he goes to jail. Or women go and provoke a man and then they get mad when the man says something back. Everybody has a breaking point. So I agree. Respect needs to go both ways. But I've seen a man pull a gun on a woman here on YouTube. I've heard a man, he would stab a content creator to death. I mean, I've just heard so much stuff, and I'm still trying to understand, why are we entertaining these people on our platforms? I don't care if they're speaking about a woman that you don't like. Why are we giving them a platform to spew that type of hatred? That has to come to an end. I thought the autopsy was done in the parents' request after receipt of death certificate. Shay, I don't know. It's just been so much. I haven't seen an autopsy either. And then I also, when I was listening to Swag yesterday, he was talking about, if need be, exhuming the body. I just feel like if there was anything that was uncertain, why even lay her to rest, only to have to dig her back up? Now, think about the Meg Stallion case. Now, she got money. We know that. Tory Lanez got money. But she got shot. Some people saying there's glass on the foot. Whatever the case is, they're just reaching now to go to court. And that happened here. Sometimes justice is slow. Yes, absolutely, Derek. You may come up. Sometimes justice is slow. It doesn't always come fast. And we got to just keep in mind that we're also dealing with a case, dealing with something out of the country. And I hope that they find some type of evidence to show that they had planned or anything that they were doing that was sketchy before they made it to Mexico so they can get some time here in America. That's what I'm hoping for. And it's so sad that justice is slow, because the thing with, mourning a person's death, that's something, that grieving process, that's something that you deal with every single day, all day, and it's thankful, as I'm sure her mother is, because she has said it to Twitter and social media. Just think about the fact that you can't even cut on the computer without hearing about your daughter's death. So it's one thing to lose your child, but then to know that you lost her in the manner that you did, and then it's all in the media, it's all on, the internet. I mean, I can't imagine what her family is going through. I can't. And then also too, like Vivian made the point that the guy in over there, he speaks Spanish, so it's all of this translation. How many things get lost in translation? They're using Google Translate and all this other stuff. Translators. How do we know what's really going on? All right, I'm gonna bring Derek up. Hey, Derek, welcome.
Can you see me? Because I'm not on the.
Yeah, no, you can go ahead. It's because I have a thing up there. You can go ahead and talk.
All right, everyone. Yeah. Shout out and respect due to the mighty S. Hutchinson. How are you, young lady?
How you doing, Derek? This is Vivian.
I'm doing well. Living my life day by day like Rambo. Yeah, look here, less than 4 minutes of your time, Miss Hutchinson. Look, man, just animals. I must have said animal at least 3 or 4 times in your chat. There's no other way to say it. And what I wanted to come up and say was that was a very good analogy that you said regarding Natalie Holloway. I would refer to her as the Black Natalie Holloway, but that would be giving Natalie Holloway too much shine, and we should call this young lady Shanquella Robinson. But that was a very good analogy. But the fact is, I have been, every time I come on one of these StreamYards, I challenge anybody, any of y'all, Show me where Black people don't love themselves. We always talk about king, queen, family, my brother, my sister. Fuck out of here. No, you're not. We just a bunch of wild animals, many of us. And by the way we carry ourselves, you have to show me where I'm wrong at. All right. They don't call us Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for no reason. All right. We just do all this stuff to one another. And then anytime a white person does something to us, now all of a sudden the community wants to come together. Fuck out of here. No, they killed that girl for no reason. And I think they should, all of them, everybody in that video, damn one person, everybody in that video should be extradited post haste back to Mexico and serve 5,000 years there, hard labor. And then if they survive, bring their ass back to America where they should do hard time here. Or the electric chair, because I couldn't watch the video because the way everyone was describing it. And to me, like, how can you look at something like that? That's what a pack of animals would do from the way it was described. All right. So just me talking about it, I don't even know the young lady. I'm kind of getting hot because my daughter just turned 18 a couple Sundays ago. All right. And I tell her, baby, you have to vet everybody, even your friends of 10, 15 years. Because I don't know how long this young lady knew these people, but it's a safe bet she's known them over a year. But even that just go to show you folks change like that.
She's no college, so they've known each other a long time. I saw them
just a bunch of animals, just a bunch of straight up, just a bunch of straight up animals. And my last point, like, because I don't like to talk all along, just get in, get out. Regarding the thing you said about men, Ms. Hutchinson, I agree with you 1,000%. I'm ex-Navy, and some of the stuff that I saw that men would do to other females, it just never sat with me right. My mama was a domestic abuse victim for the better part of the 1970s. Every Friday, my dad and Jimmy go upside my mama's head, and I said, no, it won't be me. But on the other hand, there is something to be said about a man standing up and speaking with authority and conviction. You can do both. You can talk to a woman without being dictatorial, but a lot of these dudes hide behind these avatars, or they got a big YouTube channel and all this other stuff, and they feel like they can talk to women any kind of way, stuff that they wouldn't say to a woman's face live. So to me, I just call them all, children in adult body. And that's pretty much where we are. Black folks don't love themselves. So I challenge any of y'all in the chat, anybody or whoever may see this in the future, show me where Black people love themselves. You got to show me. Other than that, we're not a community. We're just a bunch of Black folks just in the wind, and every man for themselves. You're going to have to show me, but I know you can't. I know you can't. So that's pretty much all I want to say. And thank you for allowing me on your platform, and you keep pushing. I'm going to see you around YouTube. All right. Salute to your chat.
All right. Don't go nowhere. Stay there for just a second. I'm gonna put you on mute for just a second. Don't go nowhere unless you got to go. Hold on 1 second. So I'm going to say this. I personally love myself. I don't take offense to anything that you said, because I'm the type of person where if apply, let it fly. But I will say this, at times I have to tap out from social media and tap into real life, because if I pay too much attention to this shit that I see here on social media, I will give up completely, on my people in a whole. You know what I mean? And I think probably why I'm speaking so much about the way how men are talking to women, even in this with Shanquella, there was a man there. And at the end of the day, our men are supposed to be our protectors. And he could have been the one to be like, nah, y'all not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Even though her friend is saying, well, when fights is one-on-one and don't nobody jump in it, it's not about jumping in it and beating up Daejhanae. It's saying, no, we're not doing that. And when a person is telling you that I don't want to fight, I don't want to hit you back, from the first time you hit her one time, that could have been it, and it could have been done. But you beat that girl to death when she didn't even want to fucking fight, when she paid your way where she's going. But see, we all, I maybe y'all have never been through this, but I've been through situation. I went through one just a fucking year ago with somebody I know for over 10 years. No way in a different country and all the way here. And then to find out that they fake and fucking phony and they ain't shit. People are very good at pretending like they're there for you, especially when you don't need a motherfucker for shit. When you don't need nobody for nothing, it's easy for somebody to act like they're a good friend to borrow no money. When you don't need a car, I don't need to come live with you. I'm not miserable and unfucking happy, so I don't need to call you and talk 24/7 about fucking relationship problems. It's easy to be a fake fucking friend when you're traveling and you're doing stuff and you're having a fucking good time and you're doing what the fuck they want you to do. So it's easy for people to pretend. So at the end of the day, I don't really bash this girl for being around some people that ain't shit. Because when you live in your life and you chasing your fucking bag, you don't have time to be analyzing every motherfucker and what's them, because you're living your own life. But we do have to pay attention, because there are signs. When I look back and I think about that raggedy bitch from about a year ago, there were fucking signs that, bitch, you was a hater all along. You was a hater all the fucking long. So we all get caught up in those type of situations. But we can't say justice for Shanquella, and it's wrong what happened to her when we sit here and we condone and we give people a platform to come on here and threaten violence against women, to talk crazy to women. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And that's choose to try to do real fucking content. I could come on here and just drag a bitch, or come on here and show some receipts, or I could come and do commentary about what another motherfucker is doing, or play somebody else's shit for 45 motherfucking minutes, some shit y'all just heard 2 seconds ago. I could take the easy route and do that. I choose not to do that because I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to kiss ass like everybody else. I don't want to flip-flop and fucking hopscotch and fucking double dutch and lick pussy and do all of that shit to get along, to go along with motherfuckers that I don't fuck with for real. Because if I support you, you're going to know it. I ain't no faking to it. If I don't like you, I don't like you. You're fucking dirt.
Shelly, I wanted to talk to Derek real quick. Derek, and I wanted you to confirm what you said the other day. Y'all, Derek was Navy, so he'll understand. I understood exactly what he said when we were in a chat the other night, and he stated, I wanted you to hit more on that. When we were in the military and you go out in the community, they would say, what? You get in trouble, they gonna do what? Derek, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was.
Okay. When
You on your own.
You on your own.
You on your own.
And can you explain that to the
Yeah. Can you hear me clearly?
I'm sorry, we can hear you. When you talk, when
Okay.
he's talking, Vivian, just mute yourself because it's giving feedback. So we can hear you. I'm gonna mute just when she's talking, y'all mute, and Vivian, you mute when he's talking. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Really quick. It's clear as nose on your face. When you're in the military, you are representative of the United States of America. And on top of that, you're a government issue. In other words, the government owns your ass. So you are to be on your best behavior. A lot of people to this day, I'm 55 years old, and I call people under me ma'am and sir. It's just in because I'm from Mississippi and I was in the military. So, chalk it up to that. But if you fuck up overseas, they will leave you. 3 Marines, they made the mistake of I was in Haifa, Israel, and they made the mistake of getting drunk like we all had. The problem is they got into some fight with some Jews over there. It didn't matter that they Jewish. The fact is that they were fighting on foreign soil with civilians. And so what did my fleet do? Left their ass to die. And so we left. This was in 1989. I don't know if they made it home yet, but what I do know is that they left them, and we set sail to go out our next destination. And that's what they will do to you while you're in the military. So yes, ma'am, that's a confirm. They will leave you to die. You have to act right in the military, or they're gonna stone you. They're gonna figuratively stone you. Salute the line, one love. I see you, girl. Yeah. So that's pretty much it there. So that's a confirm. And again, Miss Hutchinson, you was always gracious, and I appreciate you for allowing me to speak over my time.
Thank you.
And you take
and I'm also having a topic on Sunday if you're available. Because like I said, I have one straight male who's gonna be joining me. I would love to have at least 2 or 3 because I do want somebody from every single community. I will have, you know, bisexual, lesbian women, transgender. I actually want us to have a open round talk discussion. It won't be any bashing. We're not calling anybody any crazy names, but it's just about respect and just, you know, having a real conversation and also being able to be open and express yourself without being censored. So that's what I want to do this Sunday. My email is in the description, or one of my moderators, or I can drop it. And if you email me, I can give you some more information on what I will be doing this Sunday. I do have one transgender. I did ask another, which is 2. And I need to reach out to one more. Because like I said, I want somebody from every single, you know, community. And I know as far as with the straight community, one of the biggest issues that women have is being called cisgender. Okay. And also being called fish. So those are 2 things that we're definitely going to talk about. I also see Chat Rep up in the chat. Make sure that you guys subscribe and check her out and support her channel as well. There are so many content creators who don't even have 1,000 subscribers. One is BB Nice. Vivian, I don't know if you're able to drop her link in the chat. Maybe I can. Let me see if I have it available on my thing. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe and support. There are a lot of people out here who actually want to do real content, but they don't get any support. They don't get any views. You know, nobody's checking for them. Nobody's supporting. And that's very, you know, unfortunate. So make sure that you try to support some of these other content creators. Derek, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate your input in today's discussion as well as Vivian Jennings. I thank you for coming up as well. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll put the links to all the people in the green sector when this video is over. Okay. If you're in the chat right now, yes.
Yeah, really quick. I can just get to, because I think we talked a year ago. It ain't nothing changed. Derek Williams 1967 at Gmail. That's all. Real simple. The year I was born, Gmail. That's it. Derek Williams 1967 at Gmail. Feel free to tap in, you know, and I can give you 30 to 45 good minutes, no problem. So again, thank you for having me up, and you take care of yourself here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it Tabor? Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, is it Tabor the Savior? So when you say, can you be a guest, what community would you be in? Are you a straight male, bisexual? Because like I said, I know that one person can't speak for everybody, so I want to have at least, you know, 2 to 3 people from every community. I already have 2 gay males, so yeah, I want to have somebody from every single community. Let me go ahead and put my email in the chat, and what I will do is I'll keep my email open, and if you email me, just put in the subject line panel, and we will take from there. Okay, just Tabor. Okay, going to check it out. Content creators in the chat today, absolutely. You know, support each other. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can make it by themselves. Nobody can grow by themselves. You know, and you also have to support others. Some people who say, well, my channel's not growing or I don't get any support. Well, are you supporting other people? You know what I mean? Because fair exchange is definitely no robbery and never will be. Soul Sister's also putting up some content now too. So make sure you check her out. Support her. Protection of, oh, absolutely. I'm going to subscribe to your channel as soon as this is over and check you out. Okay, so I'm gonna subscribe today. Make sure that I'm subscribed to everybody in the channel. Is there anything, Nikki? That's exactly what I'm saying. There's no proof that any arrest has been made. There's nothing in Interpol. There's nothing in any database showing that this girl has been arrested. There's only one place, and I can give you guys the link right now. This is what a lot of people are using. This is what a lot of people are using for their proof that she's been arrested. And that's just a blog site. You know, there's no credible CNN, Fox News, ABC, shit, BET, VH1. Nobody ain't said TMZ, nobody. So until we hear from at least her family or her parents or a credible news site or Interpol updates it and says that they have her in custody, then that's when we can say she's been arrested. Until then, it's nothing but clickbait going on. Vivian, is there anything that you would like to say in closing?
Real quick. I just want to say this. I really wish I knew somebody that spoke Spanish well enough that they could interpret for me what that guy is saying. He has his own interpreter. Again, how we know that they're not in cahoots and they're not paying, somebody ain't getting some cash and payola under the table. Oh,
right. And I expressed to you about corruption, you know what I mean? Especially in different countries. We have it here in the US, but in other countries, it's way more, it's way more corruption in other countries. Police officers are underpaid, judges are underpaid. You slide a person the right amount of money and anything can happen. I thank you all for being here today. I know this has been a pretty long live, but I did enjoy myself here with you guys today. I will be tracking this case. And whenever anyone, whether it's Daejhanae or whoever else, is actually arrested and there's a receipt, I will be back with you guys, the proof and the receipt that somebody has been arrested. Okay. I love you guys so much. I see people talking to BB Nice, but I don't see her here in the chat. Oh, I see it right here. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to her channel as well and support her. I appreciate you all for being here. I'm going to leave out with some music and you guys will either see me or hear me in my next video. Have a wonderful day.
But if I your body, girl, I don't mind. Cause not only you, they my mind, oh. Ready to find what light, a lie. Me, I know the lie, oh. Not only you, they my head, oh. Yeah, only you, they my head, oh. See, now you, they cause confusion in my head, yeah. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy. You're my fantasy. Only you, they my head, oh. Only you, they my head, oh. See, now you, they cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy, yeah. Going on inside. Is this reality? Oh yeah, cause I don't wanna wake up from this dream. Them say something must kill a man. Oh, nah, nah, nah. But if not your body, girl, I don't mind. Oh yeah, cause not only you, then my mind, oh. Yeah, yeah. See you to find me, I know the liar. See now only you, they my head, oh. Yeah, only you, they my head, oh. See now you, they cause confusion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the liar, but me, I know the liar. Only you, they my head, only you, they my head, oh. See now you, they cause commotion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the liar, my fantasy. See now only you, they my head, only you, my head, oh. Now you they cause confusion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, I know the lie. Only you in my head, oh. Yeah. Only you in my head, oh. Now you they cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie of my fantasy.